Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Code 369. Successfully we have completed the HTML part of full stack development course, and now we are moving to CSS part, and this video is just an overview. Okay, this is just an overview of CSS concepts, and we will be using W3 School's website to overview the concepts of CSS. And even if you skip this video, this is not a problem. And in the upcoming videos we will be briefly seeing the CSS concepts, so don't worry about that. And you can just watch. And why, and I'm saying that you can skip this video, but why am I doing this? You can be asking that. The reason is that if you are overviewing all the concepts in the verse itself, you will be knowing what are the concepts involved in the CSS process. Okay, and when you are using CSS and when you are learning CSS briefly, you will be knowing what are the basic concepts involved in it. Okay, and when you are learning it, it will be easy for you because you already know the basic concepts, what are the things involved in it. So your brain already knows what are the basic things involved in it. So while learning briefly, it will be easy for you. That is why I have made this video, and just continue this if you have more time. Okay, now we are in the CSS website, and now you just select CSS. You can see here CSS, select this, and it starts with the CSS tutorial. Okay, first of all, thank you for this website because it has provided amazing resource to learn CSS and all other things you can see here like JavaScript, SQL, Python, Bootstrap, etc. etc. And now we are using this website primarily because it shows many examples, okay, CSS examples. So you can easily understand what the concept is. So that only we are using this website. And now let us get into the introduction. They have told what is CSS. CSS stands for cascading style sheets. Okay, in the name itself you can see style. Okay, this will play an important role in giving style to the web pages. That is why we use CSS. And the main thing which it does is it makes how the HTML elements has to be shown. Okay, it's if we have to say it simply, this just gives style to HTML coding. Okay, that's what. Now let us get into CSS syntax. Here is what CSS syntax is. Okay, this is what CSS syntax, and h1, this is called a selector. So what is h1? h1 is the element that you are using in HTML. Okay, that is called a selector, and you will be putting it outside, and you will be having curly braces. Then what you will be having is declaration. Okay, declaration will be having two things, property and value. You don't need to remember all these technical names like selector, declaration, property, value. Just you will be giving the element name outside, and you will be having curly braces inside, and you will be giving property and value. Property in the sense color is a property, and you will be giving value, which color, and you will be giving font size, and how much, what is the font size that you will be giving. You will be specifying the value. So where all these things will be applying, like color, font size, etc. will be applying in the h1. Okay, h1 element in the sense heading. In the heading, all these things will be applying. The heading will be having this color, and the heading will be having this font size. That is what declaration is all about. Selector and declaration. Selector will be having the styles which are applied here in the declaration block. That is it. Now next thing, you can see the example here. This is what our HTML code is. It is having head element, body element, and in body element what we have done is we have inserted two paragraphs. P in the sense paragraph. Okay, P in the sense paragraph, hello world, and these paragraphs are styled with CSS. These are the two paragraphs we have written, And what we have done is we have inserted an element called style. Okay, the style element is used to describe what styles has to be implemented, what styles have to be implemented. Now what we have done is we have inserted the title element, we have inserted the element name P, and P means paragraph, and inside the curly braces we have described color is red, text align is center. So what does it mean? Here we have used P element, okay, and here also we have mentioned P. So what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that red color and center alignment will be applicable to all the P elements. That is what it means. So here also we can see we have used the paragraph hello world and these paragraphs are styled with CSS. Okay, here we can see that, but we can see it in color red and center alignment. Okay, that is what. Now we can understand that by referring P element here and giving styles, all these styles will be applied to P element. That is what it is. Now close this. Example is over. Now go to CSS selectors. Now let us see what are CSS selectors. Okay. Previously I have told what is selector. Okay. This is what selector. Selector is nothing but the element is called as selector. Okay. The element which you are selecting is called as a selector. You can give your own explanation. Okay. The element which you are selecting for implementing the styles is called as a selector. The element which you select is called a selector. And the CSS selectors, we are going to see what is CSS selectors. Now you can see the CSS element selector. Okay. The element selector selects HTML elements based on the element name. Okay. What it says is the selector will be chosen by the element name. Now let us see the example. Here all P elements on the page will be center alignment with the red text color. You can see in the example itself. The selector, we can simply say that this is what selector is. Okay. If the selector is having an element name, this is called element selector. That is it. Now what will be happening if we have element selector? The style which we are applying here will be implemented in the selected element. Okay, that is what element selector is. Now you can see the paragraphs are written here, 3 paragraphs, and you can see 3 paragraphs here also. What happened is we have referred to P element here and we have given some styles here, and what will happen? These styles will be applying to this P element. Okay, this P element. So the paragraphs which are written in P element will be having this styles, like it will be center aligned. Here you can see this center aligned and it will be having red color. Here you can see this is having red color. That is it. Now go back. This is what element selector. Element selector is nothing but selector will be directly having the element name. And the CSS ID selector, we will be seeing what is CSS ID selector. CSS ID selector is nothing but this in the place of selector. In the place of selector, we will be having an ID. Okay, here ID will be taken as a selector, and all these styles that you are implementing will be applied to this ID. Okay, let us see an example. Here you are having style element, and here you are having paragraphs. So what is happening here is you are having 2 paragraphs. Here you are having 2 paragraphs and it is printed here. Okay, now you can see a thing like ID equal to para 1. Okay, ID equal to para 1. You are seeing a thing like that. So what it is? id equal to para1 is nothing but this paragraph is having an id, and this id is denoted by a name called para1. Okay, and when you are implementing this id in the place of selector like para1, okay, para1 with the starting with the hash in the starting. Okay, when you are doing that, all these styles will be applied to this id, this id para1. Okay, so where we have mentioned para1 in this paragraph, so all the styles will be applied to this paragraph, okay, which is having the id name of para1. So that is what happened here. It is center aligned and red in color, this paragraph, but the second paragraph is not like that because it does not have that id name. That is it. So close it. Let us move to css class selector. Class selector is nothing but you will be inserting a class name in the place of a selector, okay, and it will be starting with dot center. So whatever style you are applying here will be applied to the class. Okay, let us see the example. Here you are having the class name with starting with dot, and let us go to the body. Here we are having a heading starting. Here we are having a heading using head element h1, sorry, heading element h1, and here we are having a paragraph using p element. Now what you can see is in the open tag of h1 we have written class equal to center, and here in the open tag of p we are using class equal to center. So what does it mean? This h1 element and the p element will be having class, okay, center class will be having the center class, okay, the class name is center. So h1 and p will be having the class center, and we have inserted center here. So what will happen? Whatever the styles applied here will be applied to the center class, and whichever element is having the center class will be getting that style. Okay, that is what happened here. Here we have inserted a heading and a paragraph, and it is shown here which has got the style mentioned here. Okay, text alignment is center here, and the color is red is here. The color is red here. Okay, that is what the class selector is. Whatever the styles applied here in the name of class, the elements which are having that class will be getting that style. That is it. Close this. Now let us move to the CSS universal selector, and the universal selector selects all HTML elements on the page. Okay, what does it mean? Let us go to the example. Here you can see asterisk. Okay, this is called the universal selector, and whatever the style written here will be applied to the whole page. Okay, here to the whole page. That is what the universal selector is. Here we have written three paragraphs, with a heading and three paragraphs. You have written 4 lines here, and all the styles that are written here will be applied to the whole page. That is what universal selector is. And close this. Go to CSS grouping selector. The grouping selector selects all the HTML elements with the same style definitions. Okay, with the same style definitions. Look at the following CSS code. H1, H2 and P elements have the same style definitions. What does it mean? You can look here, H1, H2, P, but the style is same here. Text align is center, color is red. Text align is center, color is red. You are having the same style. So how to combine these? That is what grouping selector is. Now go to the example. Here you have combined everything h1 comma h2 comma p. So whatever style is implemented here will be applied in these elements. Whenever you write h1 element, h2 element, paragraph element, all these elements will be having this style. That is what this is grouping selector. Okay, grouping selector. Now move on. That's it. Now move on how to add CSS. Okay, there are three ways how to add CSS styles. I mean styles. There are three ways to insert CSS styles. One is external CSS and another is internal CSS, another is inline CSS. Now let us see the external CSS. External styles are defined within the link element inside the head section of the HTML page. Okay, let us see the explanation here. What is external CSS? With an external style sheet, you can change the look of an entire website by changing just one file. Okay, and you have to notice this thing: changing one file. This is the important word here in the external CSS. Let us see the example. Here, what we can see is they have inserted an element called link element, and this link element is used to add the external style sheet. Okay, external CSS. So they have used a link element here, and they have used a relationship. I think let us check. Rel expansion in HTML. Relationship. Okay, that is what relationship. See, you can see here, and they have inserted the attribute called relationship. And what is a style sheet? Okay, style sheet in the sense this is a CSS. This is a CSS file. That is what style sheet is, and they have used h reference. So which file are they referring? mystyle.css. Okay. Whenever you import this file, this CSS file, the whole web page will be applied these styles. Okay, whatever styles that are written in this CSS file will be applied to the whole web page. That is what the function of external CSS is. So let's go. Then move on to. And you can see what was the thing that was written inside the mystyles.css file. Color should be navy, margin left should be 20 pixel, background color should be light blue. These are the styles that are written in this file. Okay, so whenever you import this file, the web page will be having all these styles. That is what. Next, move on to internal CSS. Internal CSS, let us go to the example. Internal CSS is nothing but from external. You are not going to import anything. You will be writing the styles inside itself. So where you are going to write is inside the head element. Okay, you are seeing head element here using the element name called style element. Okay, or style tag name. Here inside the head element you will be inserting the style element, and you will be writing all the styles that have to be implemented in the style element. Okay, this is what internal CSS is. Now close it. Now move to inline CSS. What does mean by inline CSS? In the element open tag itself, you will be writing the style. In the element open tag itself, you will be writing the style. What is open tag? This less than and greater than. This is all called as open tag. In the element open tag itself, you will be writing the style. That is what called inline style. Okay. Now close this. Now this is over. You don't have to see these things cascading. And another thing, cascading order. Inline style, if you are having all these three things, okay, inline CSS, external CSS and internal CSS, all these things if you are having, so which style will the web page get? Okay, which style will the web page write its content, in which style it will be using, which style it will be using, whether the style you have written in inline style or external style or internal style. So which style it will be using? It will be using the style which you have written at last. For example, here cascading order, try it yourself, you can see here. Here you can see, what you can see is they have done written anything, but for example, let us see. Okay, it will be getting the style which is written at last. Okay, so first which we will be writing in the head element itself, we will be writing the external CSS. Okay, so it will come at first. So second, what we will be writing, using style element, we will be writing the internal CSS, and at last we will be writing inside the open tag of any element, we will be writing inline CSS. So what is the thing which we are having at last? Inline CSS. Okay, inline CSS cannot be written in the tab. It will be written only after the external CSS and internal CSS. So this is what will be coming at last. So what style will be implemented? The style which is written in the inline CSS will be applied. Okay, if you are having h1 should be printed in red, and in internal CSS and external CSS they are saying that the h1 should be printed in black. So which will be printed, in which color it will be printed, which is mentioned in the inline CSS will be printed, because this is what printed at last, this is what written at last. So that is the color in which it will be printed. So close this. So let us move. Okay, this is finished. Let us move to CSS commands. CSS commands are not displayed in the browser, but they can help document your source code. Okay, already we have seen comments in HTML. So whatever you write inside the comment section will not be displayed in your web page. Okay, this is just for showing some information. And it will not be getting executed. That is what comments is used. It will be showing some information like this is a single line command. Like I can say that you can say anything, like go to the example itself. Here we are mentioning color as red. Okay, I will be showing in the comment that the following the P element will be having red in color. Okay, I can be mentioning information like that. And also one more thing which I can see is I am typing like this DDDD and running, nothing will happen in the output. So this comment is just for adding some extra information about the code that you are writing. Okay, so how to insert this comment section? In order to insert this comment section, what you have to do is go to the style element here, because okay, when you are getting into this part like body element, and if you are inserting comments, it will be considered as the comments of HTML. Okay, so you have to write the comments inside this style element, then only it will be considered as the comment of CSS. So inside the style element, what you have to do is backslash asterisk and insert your comment, and then asterisk backslash. Okay, it will be reversed here. If you do like this, it will be considered as a comment. So go back. CSS colors. Here they have mentioned what are the CSS color names. So you don't have to think about this. A color can be specified by using predefined color name. Okay, they are saying like this, it need not to be considered. And the CSS background color they are saying. So hello world, here they have written hello world and it shows the background color of blue. So how to do that? See the example. They have used inline style here, like okay, and what they have done is in h1 heading 1 what they have done is they have inserted this background color as Dodger blue. Okay, so what will happen in the background of hello world, the Dodger blue will be displayed color. Okay, background color. And here in the paragraph element background color is tomato. Here you can see it's very easy. So go back, close this, and here they have mentioned RGB. Actually an RGB color value represents red, green, blue. Okay, light resources. And here we can see example what they have done. Here what they have done is they have given the value of red, green, blue. Okay, like red is 255, green is 0, blue is 0. So what will happen if we change the value here? 500 and run. In the first image the color is changed. Okay, when you change the value of this colors like red, green, blue, it will be affecting the whole color. So because this red, green, blue is the combination of the single color which is displayed is a combination of these three colors. Okay, so whenever you change the value of one color, the whole color will be changed. Like here also you are giving 500. Now run this, the whole color is changed. Okay, so this is a combination of three colors. That is what red, green, blue. This is not that much necessary, so close this. Here also they are giving HEX. X value is nothing but RR, GG, blue, BB. These are not necessary that much. Red, green, blue. So go HSL, leave this, then go to CSS backgrounds. CSS backgrounds, background color, background image, background repeat, all these things are there. And now you are seeing background color. Let us go to the example. They have given background color as light blue. Okay, so what will happen in the body element? They have inserted body element here. So what they have done is this background color light blue will be applying to the whole body element. Okay, so the whole body element is having light blue background. That is it. So close this. Now go to background image. So what happened here is, write yourself. Here there is a background image. So what they have done is they have inserted background image here with the image name like paper.gif, and this whole background image will be applied to the body element. That is what they have done here. So close this, and then background repeat. And now we are seeing CSS background repeat. Okay, in the previous section we inserted a background image. Now what we are going to do is we will be repeating that background image. What they have said here is by default the background image property repeats an image both horizontally and vertically. But if it is what they have said is some images should be repeated only horizontally or vertically, otherwise they will look strange. What they have said here is by default an image will be repeated both horizontally and vertically, like that they have said. Here you can see this is the image, but it has repeated vertically, okay, and also horizontally. Okay, both vertically and horizontally. So it will not look good. That is what they have said. And what is, go back. If the image above is repeated only horizontally, the background will look better. That is what they have said. In order to repeat the image only horizontally, what they have done is they have used repeat keyword and they have inserted X. If it is Y, it will be repeating vertically. Okay, if it is X, it will be repeating horizontally. That is what. Then go here. Now you can see repeat X. It means that the image here will be repeating X, okay, in the X axis. So this is looking good. So close this. Background attachment. Now you can see an amazing thing here. Okay, background attachment. And they have said specify the background attachment property specifies whether the background image should scroll or be fixed. Okay, that is what the background attachment is. Now you can see in this example. Here you can see a background image, but when you are scrolling, it is fixed. It does not move anywhere. Okay, that is what background attachment is fixed. In order to do that, what they have done is background attachment fixed. They have written code like this: background attachment fixed. Now another thing which is here you can see this example. What they have done is when they are scrolling, the background image also moves to the top. Okay, it is not fixed. So what they have done is background attachment scroll. Like that they have written the code. Now let us close this. This is what background attachment. The background image will be fixed or it will be moving while scrolling. That's what. Now background shorthand. And this is background shortcut. Background shorthand. Okay. This is also called as a shortcut. Now how it is a shortcut I am saying. Let us see. Here they have mentioned background color, background image, background repeat, background position, etc. etc. Okay, they are using background everywhere, like background color, background image, background repeat, background position. But if you are using shorthand property, okay, this should not be called a shortcut. This should be called a shorthand. What we will be doing is just go here and you can see they have written background and they have put colon. Okay, and all the things they will be separating by space. You can see here itself. Here they have written everything in each line in a separate lines they have written. But what they have done here is they have put background and they have put colon, and what they have done is they separated everything with a space. So all these things will be coming in a single line itself. That is why I called it as shortcut. Now that's it. Okay friends, let us see in the second part. Okay, we will be starting with CSS borders in the second part of this video, and I hope this is good. Let us see in the upcoming video. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. And please subscribe me. Thank you.